wonder, like, am I off-putting to people or some shit? Do they
Yeah,
think,
yeah, yeah.
and all that shit? But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Now I know exactly how that is. But nah, yeah, that was definitely something I was just like, yeah, because yeah, we used to see, you know,
well, we had the
even
show together.
well, we had the show, and you remember like when I was still living in Philly and I was coming to New York, I would
Yeah,
stay in your basement.
I remember that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are
So
good
we had
times, like,
yeah,
bro.
we had like a little
What happened to
symbiotic
like
relationship and shit.
what happened to like relying on other comics like that? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that energy is so gone from like the
Mm-hmm.
scene and just in
Mm-hmm.
general. Like, maybe we're just all getting older, so people just
Mm-hmm.
are like, I don't want to have some nigga sleeping on my couch or something. But I think it's
Mm-hmm.
something deeper than that. It's like after COVID, I feel like so much of the unity in comedy, not just in New York, but like all the places, totally like shifted. You know?
Yeah. I think some of it has to do with people well, it's two things. I think some of it has to do with people being real like overly focused on like thinking they're gonna have a career in it and like being like real business minded and real strict with who they associate with. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, like and then some of it I think is just society because we was talking the other day like you don't really get hooked. Like remember back in the day, you would know somebody that worked at a fast food restaurant, and you could go there
Yeah.
and get hooked up,
Yeah.
or
You
you
don't
could
get
be,
hooked up anymore. Huh?
yeah, you could be in the line at Wendy's and be like, hey, yo, slide some extra fries in there. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
People don't do shit like that no more. You know what I'm
Hookups
saying?
don't exist anymore, bro. And it's
Yeah,
like it's a different era.
yeah. So it's like so it's like more of a self-centered society and shit like that now. You know?
I don't know. I feel like I feel like there's this energy of like people being very like overprotective of like
Mm-hmm.
everything that's like theirs. You know what I mean? And they're like, well,
Mm-hmm.
if I give this nigga something, he's probably never gonna give me anything. So fuck him and all that shit. And
Yeah.
like, I've just had like issues where I went to like other other cities to perform and everything. Just do a couple
Mm-hmm.
shows, nothing special,
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, it's like if you were going to Philly, you were going to DC, you were going to Atlanta, literally
Mm-hmm.
there was just a network of comics
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
you knew, and you didn't even have to know them.
And
You
they
know,
let you sleep over or whatever type shit like that.
completely let you
Yeah.
sleep over. Like you just a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. He's sleeping on the couch, whatever. That nigga's there. And I
Yeah.
feel like now, it's like nigga hit up Airbnb.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Like,
shit is weird now. Like take for instance, a couple days ago, I had this. I was booking a show or whatever.
yeah,
So I had to line up and I had my little circle of people I talked to about shit, and person was like, "Yo, why are you booking these comics? They like." Either they knew or like they're not funny or whatever the person was saying.
yeah,
You
yeah.
should have booked this person. You should have booked this person. I'm like, why am I gonna book these motherfuckers, the same motherfuckers?
Everybody
And it wasn't
books.
even, yeah, it wasn't necessarily people in my circle the person was telling me to book, but it was just these comics that already get all these opportunities. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And I'm a big believer in like giving new comics opportunities, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
even if a certain comic is getting booked all through New York City and shit like that, like their name isn't really selling tickets.
Oh,
You
that's
know
the
what I'm
thing
saying?
too. That's once you take yourself out of the matrix, bro, and start
Yeah.
realizing like, bro, these niggas like they can be the most famous person in like the New York comedy scene,
They're not selling
and they're
tickets.
not selling any tickets, bro. Like no one's
It's
heard
not like
about them.
it's not like the average civilian couple in Long Island sees Joe Joe McDougal Street on a flyer and
Yes,
says,
yeah.
"Honey, we got to get a babysitter."
Exactly. Like no, it doesn't.
you
And
know,
I think is the weird part about all that shit too is that like I feel like maybe we were talking about no one gets hooked up anymore. And I think it might
hmm
also be because like, especially in comedy, um, because of the internet now, and especially
yeah,
with COVID, how it divided everything and broke everything down, like you don't know who's gonna blow up.
yeah,
You know? Like you were saying, like taking chances on like younger comics and all that type of stuff. People were a
mm,
bit more open to that type of stuff before because they were
hmm
like, you never know, or this person's doing this thing, whatever. But now because of the
hmm
internet, it could be the most unfunny nigga in the world, bro. And he
yeah,
just hit something. He does an impression of this one person, and now he
yeah.
has like 200,000 followers, and he gets to tour the entire country. So now you're like, well, if I don't know who's gonna blow up, if I don't know who's really gonna be here and be someone who
Uh-huh.
can help me later, why help them?
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah,
Why
and I
help
think that's
anybody?
why, I mean, like, even if a person isn't the funniest person in the world, they deserve an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, to get better. I mean, it's like, you make a diverse show. Like, this person is new. This person might be great. This person
This
might be
person's this
intermediate. You
person's
know what I'm
black, this
saying?
person's Asian, this
Yeah,
person's terrible
yeah,
at
yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, instead of like keep booking these same people over and over again, it's like,
It's
you know
lame.
what I mean? It's lame. It's like, and like, but it goes back to what you were saying about just hooking people up and just like trying to grow something instead of like just trying to keep getting the same harvest over and over again type shit.
No, I know exactly what you mean, and that's why I don't know, I'm just so happy that I got to travel for so long, because like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and even so, like I went to LA like a couple months ago and stuff, and I just been traveling, kind of doing the road more, and that's really
Mm-hmm.
like opened my eyes so much about just like what you're saying. It's like all these people you think like rule comedy don't,
Yo,
bro. They're just
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When
yeah,
I was in Atlanta, right, and I was contemplating leaving Atlanta for a bunch of reasons, right,
yeah,
but and going back to Philly and shit. And there was this one club in Atlanta that I hadn't done yet,
yeah,
and like I was like talking to a friend of mine, and I was telling her, like, she's a comic as well, and
yeah, yeah,
I was telling her like, yo, you know, I'm kind of want to move back home and shit, but like I haven't done this club yet, and I just feel like I got to do this club before I
yeah.
leave. And she told me, she was like, yo, Mahdiy, and she was originally from Chicago, you know what I'm saying?
I think I
And
know who
so
you're talking about actually.
and
Yeah,
Atlanta
yeah,
was her second comedy scene,
yeah,
and she told me, she was like, yo, Mahdiy, whenever you in a comedy scene, right? She was like, there's always that one club where everybody in that scene feels like they have to do that club to be
to be a real
validated.
comedian. Yep, yep.
To be validated. She's like, they feel like that's the most important thing. And if they do that club, everything is gonna go great from there. And she
Mm.
was like, then you go to another scene in Minnesota or Texas. She's like, they
Yeah.
ain't never even heard of that club. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
That
Yep.
like that club means nothing to them there.
Hmm.
And they could and the scene that the other scene could be just as vibrant or more vibrant. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
she was like, that scene means that club means nothing to them there. You can say, yo, I headlined this club, and they're gonna look at you like, okay, you know what I'm
Whatever.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like you said, take yourself out the matrix. So she was like, yo, don't let like one club, like you know, not one club isn't gonna make or break you, basically. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she was like, yeah, you know, saying do whatever you feel you got to do, but don't base your decision on not having performed at that club. And
I think so, man. You can't link your self esteem to like
yeah,
these like simplistic, like subjective things that other
yeah,
people put in front of you. Because like a lot of times, these people know you're funny,
yeah,
and they they won't give you shit just because they know you're funny and they don't like
yeah,
you that much, or
yeah.
you
There's other
you
factors at
intimidate
play.
them.
There's other
Yeah,
factors at
there's
play.
plenty of other shit, bro. Like, listen, bro. Like, I just